Good afternoon to everybody. As she said, my name is Alonzo Page, and we are representing today the Mayor's Office for People with Disabilities. And I do appreciate those of you who are sitting here, and hopefully the information that we provide for you will give you an incentive to understand what you need to know in terms of our topic today and move forward. We do encourage you that if you have additional questions and you don't quite understand what you see out there on the website, there's a lot of information out there on the website. Now let's say this is the Employment Services Unit. However, we are responsible for a Social Security grant, which is a federal grant. And it's called the Work Incentives Planning and Assistance Program. These are projects that are scattered all over in every state of the United States of America. And the idea is to have people who are receiving Social Security benefits and those persons who work with them, those companies, those agencies, and all of that to understand the benefit and how work will impact their benefits and what they need to know. My staff that's sitting here today do benefits analysis, and they're going to completely explain to you how that works. Now, if anybody has any questions or apprehensions about going to work in terms of the fact that you are receiving Social Security benefits, whether it's SSI, they're going to explain what that is, or SSDI, we're going to let you know. And then individually, let me say it again, I can't say it enough. If you have individual questions, you call us or talk to us today. We're here to serve you and provide service. And maybe you are not that individual who needs that kind of service, but you have children, you have relatives who know of that services. And if you look at our information that we passed out to you, you will see the information in regards to the services that we offer in the Mayor's Office for People with Disabilities. It talks about programs and services. It gives you a brief blurb about the services that the department offers. We are stationed out at the field office in Chicago. We're at 2102 West Ogden Avenue, and that's right around the health centers. Chicago, Cook County, Rush Presbyterian. If you don't know where that is, just to give you an idea of where we're located. And if you look at this brochure that's MOPD People with Disabilities, it kind of explains what This Is Your Call to Work is. And as I said again, my staff is going to explain that in detail, and any questions that you may have about that, you can do that. Now, we have created some time ago what we call a program partners collaboration. This is a group of service providers, and there are 139 of them that are affiliated with the services and the office and our unit that we do. And these are agencies that work with individuals with disabilities who are reaching out to them. And we're particularly concerned about the targeted underserved communities that are in Chicago, and many of you probably have facilities and have an association with those when we're talking about Social Security and the benefits, SSI, SSDI. We have also encouraged what we call concerned parent group, because we've discovered that many of the parents who are receiving benefits on behalf of their youth and young adults, the youth don't know that they're receiving SSI. The benefits go away at age 18. The parent don't know that you need to go ahead and apply for benefits with that student as an adult, or with that kid as an adult. And we really do reach out and try to do that, because when we look at what's happening and the children don't know, the young people, the young men, young ladies don't know that benefits are being received on their behalf. Well, benefits go away. Parents don't know that you need to go down and do that. So they say, you need to go ahead and go to work. You can't just sit here and do nothing. And so the kid gets out there in the street. Probably many of you sitting at these tables do not want to hear that, but that's a fact of life. So what we're going to do now, I'm just giving you the down under about it, just to arouse your interest and curiosity in what we do and these benefits. Social Security Administration, we work with each Social Security office in Chicago. There are 2 projects such as this in Illinois. We serve people who are residents of the city of Chicago. And we work, as I said, let me say it again, we work closely with the Social Security Administration. And what happens is when the parent or you or anyone, adult who is receiving benefits, I don't want to work, but think I can, because I think I'm going to read the benefits. My staff will do a benefits analysis to show you how that works. Guess what? You walk away with it, and you can refer to it as time changes and see where incrementally you need to contact them again or do something different. I've said enough, but I want you to know that this is the information that you're going to be provided today. And just so you know, staff are certified to do this work. They cannot just walk in and, we have to have training. We continually receive training because there are sometimes a lot of changes and we need to be able to give you correct information. So as you receive this information, please, we ask you to provide this information to other people that you know, so that we can have Chicago aware of that. This is very important, especially when we're talking about people who are receiving SSI, SSDI. And then if you have some questions, do not fail to contact the Social Security Administration. And there are many of them scattered throughout the city of Chicago. So, having said that, I want to introduce my staff. And I think Eric is going to come up first, and then Jocelyn is going to come up first, and we're going to talk about, we're going to give you details about Social Security, the work incentive, SSI, SSDI, and what you need to know. Thank you.
All right. Good afternoon. Thanks for having us here. And I do have a history of working with the DI department here at Shirley Ryan, previously formerly known as RIC. My name is Eric Lopez. I'm one of the two certified community work incentives coordinators working under the Work Incentive Planning and Assistance Program. Jocelyn is the other certified individual. We work under the Ticket to Work program. So we are, our funding comes under the Ticket to Work and Work Incentive Improvement Act of 1999 and so on and so forth. Who's had a Ticket to Work? Okay, so Ticket to Work is a program from Social Security that is completely voluntary. It is not Social Security telling you, get out the door and get a job, because we want to get you awful benefits. It is Social Security saying that none of your benefits, if you feel better, comfortable enough to start maybe bringing your toes into the work world, these are some agencies that have signed up to provide employment services on the Ticket to Work. It does not guarantee a job. There's no such thing as job guarantees anymore. Also, it isn't an exchange for jobs. When the Ticket to Work first came out, we would get phone calls that people took their Ticket to Work to Target, to the HR department. Here's my ticket, where's my job? It doesn't work that way. There are agencies that have signed up with Social Security to provide job placement assistance services. Some of those agencies, and actually the largest one in the state, is the Illinois Department of Human Services, Division of Rehabilitation. Amateur is another one. Best Buddies, America Works of Illinois, and there's a number of other agencies that have signed up. We work with all the agencies in the city, whether or not they're on the Ticket to Work or providing employment services to individuals with disabilities. However, Ticket to Work also gives you access to two other services. Protection and advocacy for beneficiaries of Social Security or PAVS for short, is an agency that's there to provide you guidance and assistance if you're experiencing any type of discriminatory barriers or practices as you're trying to enter the work world. Whether it be in the application process, in the interviewing process, questions about how to answer questions about reasonable accommodations, how do I fill up that gap in my resume, should I reveal when to disclose a disability or should I? So Equity for Equality and no cost to you for providing that type of service. And then there's us, the Work Incentive Planning and Assistance Program. And we are your benefits experts for Chicago residents. Like this page said, the Ticket to Work is national, so our services are available in every state through different agencies and different types of ways of being provided. We cover Chicago proper, not Chicago land. So our clients are Chicago residents, usually from 16 and a half to full retirement age. That's our clientele. Actively receiving SSI and or SSDI or pending, and they have questions and have expressed an interest in employment. But they have certain fears. They fear about other people, about don't go to work and cut your check off. I never went to work without just to pay back $10,000, that kind of stuff. So we come in when those doubts come in. We try to demystify and wipe away the weeds and get rid of the myths and try to clarify the picture for you. Our services are no cost to individuals, private, confidential. We don't share it with anybody else. Now, any questions about ticket to work? No? Okay. So, who knows the difference between SSI and SSDI?
Social Security Income and Social Security Disability Income.
Okay. So, yes.
SSDI for people who have jobs before,
Okay.
any experience with employment,
Okay.
and SSI with no experience with employment.
Yes. She said this before that.
Can you please repeat what you said?
Oh, sorry. So, and I will expand on what you said. So SSI, or Supplemental Security Income, is received on the first of the month. It's maximum $771. It's for individuals with little or no work history who are also low income. Now, it can also be for people that are disabled, never get to Social Security. And so they may be eligible for SSI. SSDI is for individuals with a work history that have paid their pocket taxes. Okay? I will review, I'm sorry?
Can you repeat what you just said?
So, SSDI is for individuals with a work history that have paid into the Social Security tax system. Okay? So, for example, when you work, you pay your taxes that are taken out of your paycheck. One of those items is the Social Security tax contribution. And so you pay that, and then Social Security gives you credit for Social Security. And so that's what you collect based on your income history. Right? So the amount of money, and Justin will expand on SSDI varies between individuals. But SSI, Supplemental Security Income. Supplemental being the key word. Alright, so you are receiving SSI of $771 because you have no other income coming in. When you are working, you have other income coming in. So what's going to happen to SSI? I'm sorry?
Going away or reduced?
It's reduced. So, it doesn't get taken away right away. It will, however, be gradually reduced based on your monthly gross earnings. Social Security looks at monthly gross earnings. At the end of the month, how much money did you earn? Gross. Okay, not how much you work, how much you earn. And so, we gave you a handout that goes over some of this information that says work incentives for SSI recipients and on the other side, SSDI recipients. So, it turns out that they look at less than half of your work income when trying to recalculate your SSI payment. so the key thing to get out of this is that for somebody in SSI, it is always to your advantage to work. Why? Because you're going to end up with more money. Because even though your SSI is lowered, you still have your work income. Nobody takes that away. You still have your work income. And so you're making $1,000 a month. Your SSI of $771 is probably around $273 or so. So that gives you a monthly income of just over $1,200. Do I want to be at $771 or at $1,200? And the other good thing is, if you're one of these individuals who's getting SSI because Social Security told you you don't have enough orders to get SSDI, what's the only way to get those orders? You gotta work. So it's to your advantage to say, oh, I'm missing 3 quarters. That's a year's worth of work. Let me work at least a year, making sure I earned enough to collect those quarters, to then get insured for the Social Security check. And I do have a client, he's, mid-30s, who calls and emails a lot, but he wants to make sure he gets his information correct. When I met him almost 10 years ago, he was on SSI and SSDI, right? Getting both. $791 today, but he was getting both. The SSI was higher than the SSDI. As he continued working, that balance switched, because as you work and you keep paying to Social Security, Social Security will recalculate your payment. And so due to his work, his SSDI has been gradually increasing. Where about 2 years ago, he worked himself out of SSI, where he's just getting his SSDI. And then last month, he sent me a letter email that his SSDI was going to go from 843 to 1,007. That's a pretty big jump. And it's due to them having recalculated his payment, because he stayed working. And as you work, you keep paying to Social Security. Now, with SSI, as you go to work, Social Security understands that you may have additional expenses related to your disability because now you're working. Expenses that you may not have had before. Social Security will give you what seems like a credit for impairment-related work expenses. These are out-of-pocket expenses related to your disability that are not only necessary for day-to-day, but are important to maintain your ability to work. So the largest and easiest one to understand is paratransit. You don't pay paratransit, you can't get to work. And you can't get back home. You don't want to stay at work overnight. And so when you report your wages to Social Security, you supply them with the receipts for paratransit to and from work. And for every dollar of expense that you submit, you retain 50 cents of the SSI. So if I turn in $100 worth of expenses, my SSI, I keep $50. Paratransit, prescription co-payments, doctor visits, maintenance and repair of durable medical equipment. It cannot be covered by insurance or any other third party. That includes parents or family member. It has to be you that pays for it. Okay? So if everybody shares your credit card, make sure you get 1 second to receipt. And so these expenses, you do have to submit every month. Social Security would have its own. You have the same expenses every month. So paratransit, maintenance of durable medical equipment, care and maintenance of assistance animal also qualifies. Some of it you may want to do it in person and say, well, this is for this, and defend it. Tailoring for work clothing, and it's related to your disability. You can try to get someone creative, but the more creative you get, you're going to have to go to Social Security and defend it. But you are required to report your wages on a monthly basis to Social Security. When you are working part-time, you may have always been vary month to month, so as your income goes up and down, your SSI should be making the same trip. Okay, so if you're not reporting, Social Security will not find out you are working until more than a year later, when the IRS tells so. And as you will receive the love letter from Social Security that says, we have received information that you have wages for year 2019. You neglected to inform us. We have determined that you have been overpaid $15,000. You have 30 days to pay. We accept personal checks and all major credit cards. Here's the payment slip. Right? You know, that letter causes people to want to quit their jobs. Where it doesn't make sense, because you still have the overpayment. Okay? So it's always best to avoid that and report on a monthly basis to Social Security your wages. It is your SSI check, so at the end of the day, it needs to be your responsibility to make sure your wages are reported. Even if you have them based up to a case manager, a voc rehab counselor, a web payee, somebody, please make sure that your wages are being reported. When you want to talk to us, you call us, make an appointment, and we will talk to you one-on-one and essentially calculate SSI payments based on your work income. We can do the calculation for you, so you know what to expect. We will verify benefits with your signed consent with Social Security. We want to make sure that what you believe to be true is the truth that Social Security has on the record. Sometimes we find things don't match. And so we want to make sure that we are giving you accurate information. And so once we receive that report, of which you will receive a copy, we write up our benefits analysis, which is basically a one-on-one conversation with supporting documents that details exactly how the rules will apply to you based on the situation you presented. And that can be updated whenever there's a change. We don't have that thing called case closure. We don't close cases. So people call us a decade later. I've been at my job for 15 years and somebody pops up every now and then. But we do some Chicago residents. You can make an appointment with us. We will see individuals pretty much anywhere, pretty much, except for private residents. McDonald's or Starbucks, no purchase necessary. SSI individuals get Medicaid. As long as you're reporting your income to Social Security and your SSI reduction is due to work, you will continue to receive Medicaid. If you are reporting your income, there should be no spend down on Medicaid if you are receiving SSI. Okay? The first question we ask, if you call us and say, I got to spend down, I'm going to ask you, are you reporting your income? Oh yeah. When I started working? When was that? 4 months ago. You need to report every month. There is a digital phone that goes from Social Security to public aid. They need to know. Okay? Questions? I know I said a lot. That's why we're available one-on-one, so make an appointment. we're going to cover SSDI, and then I guess we're open for questions. Okay, thank you.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jocelyn, and I'm the other Community Work Incentives Coordinator. And I gave you this handout. It explains about what we're talking about, SSI and SSDI, and most importantly, in that box there, you have our contact information. So you have our phone number at 312-746-5743. We are there Monday through Friday from 8:30 to 4:30, and we do answer the phone unless we're out here or out into the community. And if you leave a message, we do return your calls right away. So Eric talked to you about SSI. I'm now going to talk to you about SSDI, which is Social Security Disability Insurance. SSDI is the check that you get from Social Security on the 3rd of the month or later in the month. And the amount that you get depends on how much money you put into the Social Security tax system. So when we meet with an individual who's on SSI, and you already heard from Eric, that it's to that person's advantage to go back to work because they're always going to end up with more money. Not just that. When the person is working, they are also paid into the Social Security tax system. And that's the only way you're going to gain the credits in order to be switched over from SSI to SSDI. So when a person is being counseled on SSI, we let that person know. Take advantage, meaning try to work and earn as much as you can without jeopardizing your Medicaid card. Because as you know, the more money we earn, the more taxes are taken out, and that includes Social Security. We have actually met with an individual that is getting close to $2,000 per month of SSDI. And when I looked at the earning history, because when we get that information from Social Security that the beneficiary have to sign a consent form, and I'm going to let you know why we need to get that information. This person's earning history is really significant amount every year. So that's why when he was awarded SSDI, he's getting a significant amount. Now, with SSDI, when a person is working, unlike with SSI, there's a reduction, not with SSDI. With SSDI, the very first time a person goes back to work, there is a 9-month trial work period. And during those 9 months, that person can earn as much money as they can, and they will receive their SSDI check, the entire thing. There's no reduction to it. And for Social Security to count a trial work month for this year, that person has to earn $880 or more per month, and that's gross income. So let's say, for example, there's an individual on SSDI that went back to work. Let's say the first 3 months they earned $1,000 each month. So that counted as 3 trial work months. On what would have been the 4th month, that person only earned $850. And since that's below $880, that did not count. So the next time that that person counts another trial work month will be the next time they earn $880 or more per month. And this is why we also verify with Social Security. Because when we meet with individuals one-on-one, like Ms. Page and Eric said to you, we do what is called a benefits analysis. We put everything in writing, it's a report. And that is really good for you to keep, so that way you'll have something to, to look back into, like a guide. One of the things that we do is we have you sign 2 consent forms. They're identical. Apparently, each one is pulling out different information from Social Security. That consent form goes to Social Security, and they gave us the verification that you also get a copy of. And if you are on SSDI, the first thing we're going to check would be those trial work period months. And it's going to tell us whether you have 9 months, 7 months, or you completed those months, let's say, 3 years ago. And there have been instances where the person completed those trial work months 20 years ago. Then we're in a different situation. Because once the person completes the trial work period, we go into another period. It's called Extended Period of Eligibility, and that runs for 3 years. During those 3-year period, right now the assigned amount is at $1,220 gross per month. So that means once the person completes the 9-month trial work period, when they are in the extended period of eligibility, any months that they make $1,220 or more per month, they will not receive that SSDI check. But the months that they earn less than that, they get a check. So you see the importance of reporting the earnings to Social Security every single month? Not just so that way Social Security can record the trial work period months, but also after that, they'll know when to send you a check and not to send you one, and we avoid overpayments. We actually got a call today from a mom, and unfortunately, what prompted her to call was because her son received an overpayment letter from Social Security. Her son has been working for several years at Jewel, apparently making more than whatever that assigned amount is. Right now it's at $1,220. And last year it was only at $1,180. So you could tell the assigned amount does go up every year by $30, $40. And when I talked to Social Security, they said this individual was terminated from SSDI back in October of 2018. That's why there is a huge overpayment of $15,000 because they were not reporting to Social Security. And the thing is, if you do not report to Social Security, in their mind, you're not working. But eventually, they'll find out. How they find out? Because when we're working, you know how at the beginning of the following year, we have to file for our taxes? And our employer submits to IRS, this is for everyone, how much we made from the previous year. So that way, if we're eligible for a refund, we'll get that refund. That's what happened to this individual. Social Security received a report from IRS and said, oh, this person has been working. So they did a work review. After that work review, they found out that not only was this person terminated, but now he owes $15,000. How you get terminated? The 9-month trial work period, and then followed by the 3-year extended period of eligibility. Once you complete those 3 years, on the 36th month, Social Security will see, are you working? If you are working, are you making over or below that assigned amount, which is called SGA, Substantial Gainful Activity? If you are making less, you're going to continue to get your SSDI checks. But the first month that you make more, that's the termination month. And that's when you get terminated. If this individual would have come to us, maybe like 2 years ago, then we would have avoided the overpayment, and we would have counseled this individual and said, listen, if you decide, you know what, a lot of individuals that I talked to said, I like what I'm doing. I like what, I'm working, I'm making more money, and therefore I can let go of SSDI or even SSI. But the concern that they have, what happens if I stop working? So this individual would have been counseled with, once you get terminated, there is another period is called Expedited Reinstatement of Benefit. That says from the day you get officially cut off, you have 5 more years in which you can get back on benefits if you have to stop working or if your earnings fall below the assigned amount without filing a new application. So this individual, we're going to have to counsel and say, what do you want to do? I'm pretty sure he's going to say, because we haven't talked to the individual, we just talked to the mom, the representative payee. The individual will say, I want to get back on SSDI. So he's going to be counseled with, do not stop working, but we're going to have to reduce your hours per work. So that way you're making less than $1,220, and the first month that you do that, you need to take those pay stubs to Social Security and let them know I am no longer earning the amount. And they will give him a 1-page form that says Expedited Reinstatement of Benefits, and that's how he can get back on benefit without filing a new application. Individuals who are on SSDI also get Medicare, the red, white, and blue card. That will not be affected for at least 8.5 years. And there are some individuals who get SSDI, Medicare, and Medicaid. The Medicaid card will have what is called a Medicaid spend down. What the Medicaid spend down is, think of it like an insurance deductible. So let's say while you're working, you ended up with a $200 Medicaid spend down. In order for you to continue to use your Medicaid card, you have to submit at least $200 worth of medical bills to public aid, and you have to do that every single month that you have a spend down. If, let's say, your spend down is huge and you're not able to meet that, but you are working, there is another program. It's called Health Benefits for Workers with Disabilities. It's a Medicaid buy-in program. For a low monthly premium, and a person on SSDI can get Medicaid. So those are some of the things that we talk to them about when we meet with the individual one-on-one. Now, there have been instances where the individual said, I went to this agency and I spoke to a CWIC. That's what they call us, Community Work Incentives Coordinators, CWIC for short. Okay. And what did the CWIC tell you? Oh, they told me this, this, and that, and I did fill out that information about the consent form. That's fine. But we would still have you do the same thing with us. Because unlike the CWIC that those other agencies have, we are the only ones being funded by Social Security, so we actually have access to Social Security. Because there have been times that we have to call Social Security. Once we get that benefits planning query, the benefits planning printout that I'm talking to you about, I'm like, wait a minute, this person doesn't have, like the person that I was telling you earlier, the benefits planning query said no trial work months have been used. So how could that be? This person's making like $17,000, $31,000 a year. So I called Social Security since he already signed a consent form. And Social Security said, oh, already completed the trial work period back in 2013. I said, well, it's not saying that on my printout. So in other words, if I just went ahead and met with the individual and say, oh, is this the first time you're going back to work since receiving the benefits? Most of the time the answer is yes. Okay, you have the 9-month trial work period. If I do not verify, there's a chance that I may get you cut off. Because what if you completed the trial work period 5 years ago? Then you already completed the extended period of eligibility. And I just got through telling you, you can earn as much money as you want. So you go out there and you're like, okay, I can earn as much money as I want. And then you get that letter that Eric was talking about that said, oh, you're terminated, plus you owe us money. So that is why we verify with Social Security. Does anybody have any question about anything that we talked about? It's a lot of information.
Is there a situation with somebody who say isn't 18, like a 17-year-old, 16-year-old, that their parent might be paying them or their parent might be applying for them once they become 18? I asked because I work with high school seniors with disabilities, and we've had some confusion on whether we should work with them now and I'm on a DRS grant, or wait until they're out of high school and let them go on Ticket to Work.
Minors, for SSI, as a minor, they may be medically eligible, but financially ineligible due to the parent's income. When they turn 18, that young adult can apply on their own. Now, if they're a minor and they're receiving the Social Security check from the parent, they're not receiving disability. They're receiving minor dependent child benefits. So that Social Security hasn't even deemed them disabled. So they would have to wait until they're 18 and apply as an adult at 18.
For any of these, is it best to deal with as a case by case and just have them call or their parents call and check with your office if they're not able to communicate with me what they're receiving or not?
Okay, now for the young adults, and actually, you know what? We just had what's called the Youth Summit last Saturday. That was brought up too. You're talking about referring individuals to us?
I go into the schools and my grant is with DRS and DHS. Within my organization and our office, we do have a Ticket to Work program.
Okay.
And either sometimes the participants or their parents, their lack of communication, and sometimes we get them a job, they're working, and then all of a sudden it's, oh, we're losing benefits. And we don't know if it's not communicated to us.
We can talk to them. They can be referred. We can even tag it on to the school. If you do a workshop.
I will be contacting you guys very shortly.
Chicago Public Schools. We can't go outside the birds.
Charters?
Chicago charters, as Western Chicago. But yeah, so it matters which benefits they're receiving. They can be referred to us for counseling with their parent, because they're minors. And we can try and help them figure out. The only thing we don't do is applications or appeals. So we can't help with the applications, but we can provide information and counseling to them.
Thank you.
And we do encourage you in the schools, case managers, counselors. We do encourage, we've been doing this ever since we ran the project. In DRS, DHS, we've been encouraging the schools to work with us. We'll come out. Matter of fact, I have a group of case managers and service providers that, that I attend their school and work with their kids with IEPs, that sort of thing. So we do encourage that because lack of information is critical, and many of these young people, these students, don't really know what's going on as far as their benefits are concerned. So I would just encourage you to tell the other schools and those people within your schools to, contact us. Because we don't have a problem coming out. There was a time we did that a lot. We just go to the schools and even work with them within the IEP system. You understand what I'm saying? So a lot of them will know, and they go back and tell their moms, and then we work with, that's why we created the Concerned Parent Group, because we wanted to get more information out there. And the moment we help the parent with their students, then they went away, they didn't tell anybody about it, but I know you're not going to do that. I do just, and I'm kind of being a little bit funny about it, but that's really important as far as what we do, and let folks know that that's what we do. We'll come out. We've been doing that, and it's kind of but we like to see, pick up, because there is a need for, based on what you see. And I'm just going to say, when people talk negatively about the students and about violence and in the targeted underserved communities, and Alonzo Page will say this because I say it, I see it all the time. But in those targeted underserved communities where those students are, what school do you work in? You don't have to say that, you don't have to identify that.
I work in a bunch of schools. I work with Bridges from School to Work.
Okay, there you go. Very obvious. Okay, good, great. So you got everything come to the summit, where were you? But anyway, so please do that. That's really great to do that kind of thing. We encourage all of you sitting here, you know, if you have students or families that are involved with the schools and you work with case managers and the counselors and all of that, encourage that because that's going to help a lot to the next step as it work concerned.
So when you look, for example, if school is back in session, so we'll be at report card pickup for 2 schools.
Yeah.
So we split our time. And we'll be at 2 schools because they do transition fairs during report card pickup. So we'll be at 2 different schools on that day. But yeah, we do information sessions. We can come out and tag it off. Just email us or call us.
Well, thank you.
No problem.
Are there any more questions about any of this, the SSI, SSDI, the work that we do? You have our program and services. There are other services that our department offers too. Anything else? Any questions? You know, if you have questions, you can come over there. We probably have a little time left. We make it brief so you won't be bored and you'll call us back next time.
Yeah, so we actually have a break scheduled for 2:15, but whenever you guys are ready, you're closer to the video, so go right ahead. But let's thank our speakers for